Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this talk about headaches according to Chinese medicine. There's so much to share about headaches in both allopathic and Chinese medicine. Today I'm just going to be talking from a Chinese medical standpoint. And the talk is short, but there's a lot in there. So if you have questions, go ahead and jot them down and we can address them later at the end. So my name is Carina Wagner, and I am a licensed acupuncturist working with the Institute for Health and Healing in the Santa Rosa Clinic, California. I want to talk today about traditional Chinese medicine and how we understand chronic headaches and share some of the therapeutic tools that we use to treat them. Most people have experienced occasional headaches throughout some part of their lives. And they come and they go, and we kind of can not have to do anything special to treat them. But there are also another whole group of people who are troubled with chronic recurrent headaches, and they've been suffering from them for years. And maybe they only have limited tools for managing the pain. And often with pain medication, at least for headaches, there can be rebound headaches, and which add a different layer of manifestation and treatment of the headache. So they're not always a good long-term fix. Traditional Chinese medicine has a really good track record for treating headaches due to the fact that it's built on a holistic model of healing. The goal is to treat the whole person. Everything in the body is seen as connected and working together to support homeostasis and balance in the rest of the body. So diagnosis is made not only by looking at the obvious symptoms, but also at the seemingly unrelated symptoms that may be involved in creating various patterns of disharmony. Pattern diagnosis allows the acupuncturist to direct treatment based on the root cause of the disharmony, as well as treat the symptom, which is the pain from the headache. According to Chinese medicine, headaches are seen as originating from either external or internal causes. External type headaches are usually associated with acute colds and flus, and while they may be strong and disturbing, they usually pass once the cold or the flu has resolved. In the remainder of this talk, I want to focus on headaches that arise out of internal medicine imbalances, since they tend to stick around and reoccur more frequently. But before we go on any further, I need us all to understand the language that I'm going to use when talking about organs in Chinese medicine. When we refer to various organs, such as liver, kidney, stomach, spleen, heart, etc., we are referencing some of the functional aspects of the equivalent organs in Western medicine, such as the stomach, which is involved in digestion, or the lungs, which are essential for respiration. However, we are also assigning a broader energetic association that includes things like a specific emotion that's linked to each organ, parts of the body, the organs most influenced, and the energetic chi flow known as the meridians. The meridians are really important because they act as a portal for communication to the deeper organ, and also direct the movement of energy throughout all parts of the body. So in the next section, I'm going to outline 3 of the most common headache patterns regularly seen in the clinic. The first one I'm going to call excess qi headache. These headaches are caused from too much qi, and we can translate that as energy in the body. This qi transforms into heat and ultimately rises to the head. These headaches present with pain that is induced or exacerbated by stress and emotional tension. The location is usually at the temples, or the sides of the head, the top of the head, or behind the eyes. If the headache is really severe, there may be nausea or vomiting, light sensitivity, like an aura. In Western medicine, these headaches are diagnosed as migraines, and they're usually treated with migraine medication. In Chinese medicine, the root imbalance of these headaches has to do with a disturbance of energy flow in the liver organ. The second commonly seen headache pattern in the clinic is called a damp headache. These headaches are often associated with chronic seasonal allergies or sinus problems. The pain is felt as a pressure in the head and are often located around the sinus points on the face. People often describe the pain as sort of a muzzly band-like sensation around their heads, and they often report that their head feels heavy. People with these kind of headaches are often considered walking barometers, as they can predict a change in the weather pattern, especially if it's going to rain. The root pattern associated with these headaches is a weakness in the digestive functions, or we say in Chinese medicine, the stomach and spleen organs. We say that in Chinese medicine, the digestive functions are impaired when the body cannot properly process fluids. The fluids build up in the head, causing stagnation, which leads to accumulated dampness and thus a headache. The third category of headaches that I want to describe is a deficiency headache. Pain from this kind of headache is usually felt in the whole head or the back of the head, sometimes the forehead, and is often described as a dull, empty feeling, just empty feeling. If you've had headaches like this, you'll know what I'm talking about. This deficiency pattern can come from either an imbalance in the yin and yang functions that are specific to the liver or the kidney organ systems. Other symptoms that may manifest if, depending on which organ is most affected, could be a generalized pattern of low energy, maybe difficulty with concentration, a sense of a foggy brain, dizziness, ringing in the ears, tired and dry eyes, and possibly low back pain. While all of these different patterns of headaches drive people to seek professional help, the one pattern that seems to be most commonly treated are headaches due to excess qi. So to go a little deeper into understanding this pattern, we need to look at the role of the liver. One of the major functions of the liver, according to Chinese medicine, is said to rule the smooth flow of qi throughout the body. What this means is the liver's job is to regulate the circulation of essential energy that's carried by the blood throughout the body. I often think of the liver as a juggler. Like a master juggler, the liver's role is to organize and respond to a perpetual influx of energy, and out of that, create a dynamic flow between the ever-changing input and a coordinated output of energy. So, like a juggler who's juggling too many balls, the liver cannot maintain a healthy and organized flow, which often results in a chaotic energy pattern in the body. In our practical lives, this may look like having poor boundaries and being overloaded by saying yes too often to many things, or working too many hours. Perhaps taking care of young children without enough support, eating on the run, not getting enough sleep, sweeping emotional issues under the carpet, and generally putting our own needs on the back burner. Sound familiar? Okay, so over time, these things wear us down and continue to make the liver qi vulnerable to a disordered flow. When this happens, two common syndromes result. One pattern we frequently see develop is a digestive or bowel problem, such as GERD, acid reflux, or irritable bowel. We say as the liver qi attacks the digestive organs. The other pattern relevant to today's discussion is that of ascending qi. This happens when the flow of the liver qi is stagnant and it becomes restless, and it can't, and consequently it leads to the formation of heat, and causes the chi to move upward in the body, ultimately lodging in the head, causing a headache. This pattern is called liver yang rising, and it's the root condition associated with migraine headaches in Chinese medicine. So you might ask yourself, how does Chinese medicine treat these kinds of headaches? Well, I'm happy to share that acupuncture is a very effective tool to redirecting qi and blood flow that results in blockages in the body causing headaches. A very simple analogy I often use with patients to describe this process is that of a garden hose with a kink in it. When you go to turn on the water, you expect to see a strong flow of water coming out the hose. But if there is a kink somewhere along the hose, the water will only dribble out. But once you find the kink, adjust the hose, which releases the normal pressure, the water flows out normally again. You could say that acupuncture gets rid of kinks in our body's energy flow, reducing the pressure and reestablishing a healthy flow. Acupuncture is also well known for its ability to modulate the nervous system. It has the effect of turning off the switch that keeps our body in a heightened sympathetic dominant state, commonly known as fight or flight response. Very shortly after the acupuncture needles are placed, the body responds as the relaxation process takes over, which is the hallmark of a parasympathetic response, commonly described as rest and restore. Chinese medicine, herbal medicine, is also another very important tool we have for nourishing the body's organs and balancing the underlying yin and yang patterns that are actually at the root of any disharmony. There are many available formulas depending on whether it is determined that the pattern is one of excess or deficiency or some combination of the two. Taking a pattern-specific herbal formula for 3 to 4 months will often be enough to shift the underlying disharmony so the headache won't return. So aside from seeking out professional care, there are a lot of things that we can all do in our daily lives that can have significant impact on prevention and the treatment of headaches. Let's take a look at some of those things. Food basics are always a good place to start. I like to tell people to follow the 80-20 rule, which means eat well at least 80% of the time with a diet based on whole grains, veggies, fruits, good quality protein, healthy fats, and unprocessed foods. Things in particular to avoid include caffeine, alcohol, excessive sugar, certain aged cheeses, flavor enhancers like MSG, and artificial sweeteners like Splenda, which have been found to be neural exciter agents known to cause headaches. Another important thing for overall health, but particularly for headache prevention as well, is getting good regular exercise. It's well known that exercise burns up stress hormones such as cortisol that accumulate during the course of our days. Getting restorative sleep is also vital because everything else rests on having enough sustained energy to fuel us throughout the day. We can all appreciate the benefits from waking up in the morning from a restorative night's sleep, right? I certainly can. So I'd like to share a small pearl from Chinese medicine about the Chinese circadian clock. The Chinese circadian clock maps the energy flow of all the organ meridian networks throughout a 24-hour period and informs us when it's best to engage in various activities. According to the Chinese clock, it is recommended that we fall asleep before 11 o'clock to best benefit from the blood storing and cleansing activity of the liver and its paired organ, the gallbladder, which start their peak activity about that time. I can really tell you from personal experience that if I'm holding a little extra stress from my day and I stay up beyond 11 o'clock, it's likely that I'll get an energetic second wind that will prevent me from falling asleep for several hours afterward. So last but not least is a really important tool. This is the cultivation of mind and body relaxation tools that are designed to help us ground and center ourselves. Practices such as guided imagery, meditation, and energy and healing styles like Qigong and Tai Chi can serve us well and help us support our balance or equilibrium in times of excess stress. So the takeaway, I want to share with you that there is help for chronic recurrent headaches. And Chinese medicine has many tools that can benefit and address both the root cause as well as symptom management. So if you're looking for a holistic approach to treating your headaches, I suggest you give Chinese medicine a try.